Hi everyone. In today's video, we will talk about fractions. Let's start by defining fraction. A fraction is a part of a whole. For example, this pizza on your screen. Each slice is a fraction of the whole pizza. Now, if you will take a closer look at each slice. This one for example. This slice is 1/6 of the whole pizza. This one on top is called a numerator. It tells us the number of parts taken from the whole. On the other hand, this 6 here is called a denominator. It tells us the number of equal parts the whole was divided into. The numerator and the denominator are separated by this line segment called a fraction bar. Let's now move forward to the types of fractions. Fractions can be classified as proper, improper or a mixed number. 1/6 is an example of a proper fraction. This is a type of fraction in which the numerator is less than the denominator. Other examples include 2/3, 4/9, and 5/12. Next, we have improper fraction. An 8/5 is an example of this type of fraction. As you can see, an improper fraction has a numerator greater than its denominator. Aside from this, a fraction in which the numerator is equal to its denominator is also considered as an improper fraction. Some other examples are 7/3, 10/9, and 12/12. Lastly, we have mixed number. 1 3/5 is an example of this type of fraction since it has a whole and a proper fraction. Other examples include 3 2/3, 1 4/9, and 4 7/12. But, did you know that an improper fraction can be rewritten as a mixed number and vice versa? Let's take a look at this example. To rewrite 8/5 into a mixed number, we have to divide the numerator and the denominator. The numerator will be our dividend, and the denominator will be our divisor. So, we will have 8 divided by 5. And that is equal to 1. Then, 1 times 5 is equal to 5. Which will give us a remainder of 3. This quotient here will be used as the whole, while this remainder here will be used as the numerator. And finally, we copy the denominator. So, that gives us 1 3/5. Again, 8/5 is rewritten in mixed number as 1 3/5. This time, let us rewrite the mixed number 2 3/5 into an improper fraction. And to do that, we have to multiply the denominator by the whole. That is, 5 times 2. Which is equal to 10. Next, we add this product to the numerator which gives us 13. This 13 will be used as the numerator. Finally, we copy the denominator. So, we have 13/5. Therefore, 2 3/3 is rewritten into an improper fraction as 13/5. Now, let's talk about the other types of fractions. 2 or more fractions can be classified as similar fractions or dissimilar fractions. 1/6 and 5/6 are examples of similar fractions, while 5/6 and 4/8 are considered dissimilar fractions. Looking at the denominators of each pair of fractions, we can see that similar fractions have the same denominators, while dissimilar fractions have different denominators. But, dissimilar fractions can be changed into similar fractions. How? Let's take 5/6 and 4/8 for example. To change these two fractions into similar fractions, we must find their least common denominator. So, using continuous division, let us find the least common multiple of 6 and 8. 6 and 8 are both divisible by 2, so let's start dividing by 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. And 8 divided by 2 is 4. This time, 3 and 4 has no common factor other than 1, so we stop dividing here. Then, let us multiply the numbers on this side, and the numbers on this side. We will have 2 times 3, times 4. 2 times 3 is 6. And 6 times 4 is 24. So, the LCM of 6 and 8 is 24. This LCM will be the least common denominator or the new denominators of the given fractions. Now, to find the new numerators, let us divide this LCD to the numerators of the given fractions, one at a time. 24 divided by 6 is 4. Then, multiply this quotient to the numerator of the given fraction. That is, 4 times 5 equals 20. This is now our new numerator. So, 5/6 will be rewritten as 20 over 24. We do the same process for the other fraction. 24 divided by 8 is 3. 3 times 4 is 12. Therefore, 4/8 is rewritten as 12 over 24. We are now done changing 5/6 and 4/8 into similar fractions. Let us now go down to the last part of our video, which is the simplest form of a fraction. A fraction is in simplest form if its numerator and denominator have no common factor other than 1. Now, let's see which among these fractions are not yet in their simplest form. In getting the simplest form of a fraction, we divide the numerator and the denominator by their greatest common factor. But, if you cannot immediately identify the GCF of the numerator and denominator, you may use continuous division. And this is what I will show you today. Let us start with 5/6. It is important to write first the numerator before the denominator for us not to get confused later. Now, let us think of a number which can divide both 5 and 6 aside from 1. Can you think of any? None. In this case, 1 is the only common factor of 5 and 6. That means, 5/6 is already in its simplest form. Let's try 4/8. Again, let us write first the numerator before the denominator. This time, think of a number which can divide both 4 and 8. You may start with the smallest number. Did you say 2? That is absolutely correct. So, 4 divided by 2 is 2. And 8 divided by 2 is 4. Now, we have 2 and 4. Is there a number aside from 1 which can divide both 2 and 4? Right. Both of them are divisible by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. And 4 divided by 2 is 2. We now have 1 and 2, and the only common factor of these two numbers is 1. Therefore, the simplest form of 4/8 is 1/2. For our last example, we have 3 and 6/12. In simplifying a mixed number, we only focus on the fractional part. So, let us set aside for the meantime this whole number here, and find the simplest form of 6/12. Just like what we did earlier, write first the numerator, then the denominator. What number can divide both 6 and 12? Let us start again from the smallest common factor of 6 and 12, which is 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3, and 12 divided by 2 is 6. This time, what number can divide both 3 and 6? Good job. It's 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1, and 6 divided by 3 is 2. And as we all know, 1 and 2 can no longer be divided by any other number aside from 1. So, the simplest form of 6/12 is 1/2. Therefore, we have 3 and 1/2. I hope you learned a lot today from this video. See you next time.